and thanks for staying with us. The Federal Operations Zone A sees drugs worth over 400 million naira. Also on customs reports, customs has urged factory owners in Lagos to pay their excise duty to government immediately. Plus, more report. I am Igisebe Itinye. Stay tuned. The former president of Nigeria has officially declared open the Customs House in Abuja. The event was watched by top management of Nigerian Customs Service alongside the Senate and House of Representatives chairman on customs matters. The former president was welcomed by the CG of Customs.
Colonel Hamid Ali, to make sure that I have peace in my mind, I again brought him here. Please note that from Lake Chad to Benin is more than 1,600 kilometers. Only God can effectively guard that border. So you need a person who will have the energy and the competence to effectively supervise. And I deliberately closed the borders because knowing Nigerians, they order rice and give some Niger address, and then they bring the rice here. And with our land and our potentialities, we thank God, Nigeria is favored. We have people, we have land, we have weather. How many nations are so lucky as Nigeria in the world? Very few nations are as lucky as we are. We thank God for that. So closing that border, 1,600 kilometers, more than that, from Lake Chad to Benin. And Nigeria insists that they have to impress their neighbors and other people, that they eat foreign rice. I said, no rice. You either you eat what you grow what you eat, or you die. I think I tried to make my point. And later, Nigeria appreciated it because it provides more jobs. People go back to the land. We have the land, and we produce what we eat. Let whoever grow excess rice eat his own rice or sell it somewhere else, but not to Nigeria. And for people who think that our neighbors can be a nuisance, okay, there's nothing you can do with our neighbor. That was why when I became the head of state, of the president, my first visit was to Niger, Chad, and Cameroon. Because neighborhood, based on personal and national issue, is very important. If you don't secure the confidence and cooperation of your neighbor, you are in trouble. If you are not in trouble, your children and grandchildren will be in trouble. So it's very good. I established the relationship with my neighbors. I said a few things about my personal belief because I have only 6 more days to go. And I try to plan to be as far away from Abuja as possible. And thank goodness I came from an area which is farthest away from Abuja. I said, if anybody false move, I establish good relationship with my neighbors. Nigerian people will defend me.
It is with great honor and profound gratitude that I stand before you today on this momentous occasion of the commissioning of the Nigerian Customs Service headquarters. We are immensely privileged to have Your Excellency, Mr. President, and other esteemed guests present here today. Despite the short notice, we are indeed very grateful. We gave you less than 24 hours notice, but I'm glad you are all here, and we thank God for it. This signifies the importance of this event to our beloved nation. May I therefore start my address by giving thanks to Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for making this great feat possible. When I assumed office as Controller General of Customs in 2015, with the 3 R's given to me by Mr. President, and they are restructure custom, reform custom, and raise revenue. I was not in doubt that only a comfortable and congenial working environment will facilitate the achievement of this objective. I met on ground the headquarters project, which had started 10 years earlier. My predecessors had done their bits. However, the number of contract variations slowed down the process. Today, we thank God that we have surmounted all the hurdles with the unvarying support of Mr. President to hold this smart edifice as one of the legacies of his administration. Sum was reviewed from 2.48 billion to 9.6 billion in the year 2012. And this is as a result of FCT rules, that when they give you a size of land, you must equally come up with a project that is sizable enough to cover the space that has been given to you. Due to inflation and some additional works on final review was done in 2022 to the tune of 19.6 billion naira. Consequently, this smart edifice we are commissioning here today was constructed at the cost of 19.6 billion naira only, making it the most cost-effective project ever in the city of Abuja. I would therefore like to express our deepest appreciation and gratitude to Your Excellency, Mr. President, for your firm support and commitment to the Nigerian Customs Service throughout your tenure. Your vision, leadership, and dedication to the development of our nation have been pivotal in shaping the transformation of the Customs Service. Under your guidance, we have witnessed remarkable milestones that have revolutionized our operations and brought us closer to our goal of becoming a world-class customs administration. We are particularly grateful for Your Excellency's recent signing of the Customs Bill into law, bringing an end to the old law which has been in force for the last 63 years.
The workshop on the rules of origin is not going to be an event. It is going to be a process. So we have started the process now. It will continue. We saw the statistics and we discovered that intra-African trade, despite the fact that it is generally considered to be very low, but in the last 2-3 years since the signing of the agreement, the volume of trade is increasing, is growing. Between 2021 and 2022, it grew by about 2%. So we expect that the trend will continue, and so the issue of rules of origin will continue to dominate our discussion, and it will continue to find its way into our training programs.
You are watching the program, Customs Report. The Nigerian Customs Service has urged factories operating in Lagos to always make sure they pay the right duty, which is the excise duty to government, with immediate effect. The appeal was handed down in Lagos by the controller in charge of Lagos Industrial Command, based in Lagos.
The controller said that the surveillance team has been set up to monitor any factory that refuses to pay the excise duty to government. According to her, with the payment of the excise duty, the government will continue to increase the welfare package of Nigerians throughout the country.
We are just government implementers of government fiscal policies, that they should bear with the government. That it's not easy. And they shouldn't forget one obvious fact, that it's money generated by Nigeria Customs Service with other arms of government that generates revenue that's used for running the current expenditures of a nation. Oil is for external settlement of external debts. So they should please, for Nigeria not to fail or collapse, they should please continue. It will be well. Somebody has to pay the sacrifice. If we are paying the sacrifice now for our future generation, I'm sure we have not done too bad to pay the sacrifice.
The controller called for cooperation of all excise duty payment companies by voluntarily informing the government about others who are refusing to pay customs duty to government.
When excise duty is charged on production. So when you finish producing your goods, and we'll monitor the production, because officers will be posted to your factory. We'll monitor the production daily. And at the end of the month, you bring your own record, which bring our own records, and check if there's any discrepancy. If there is any discrepancy, we'll sort it out. Because trust, our own, we are in most cases, if there's any discrepancy, our own is always higher, because we monitor to the letter. Then, when it's reconciled, then an annex will be given to you. You will write what you have produced, the quantity that you have produced. After writing the quantity, you calculate what duty you're supposed, that is accrued to the quantity you have produced. You will sign. You, that is the MD or the financial director, will sign. The officer, the OC, over the most senior officer in that factory, will sign, and they will bring it to the office. When they bring it to the office, then I will look at it. If I see that everything is all right, I will sign it, and it will be returned to them for your company to know. Then we'll do assessments. If you have, your company have your e-platform, because when you have gotten your final approval and you have paid your excise license duty, which is 10,000 naira per year, you have paid it, you now apply for e-payment platform in our NICEST. When you apply for it, it will be created for you by our ICT office in headquarters in Abuja. Then you will be paying with your name, your company name. So when we are doing our assessment, we'll use the code for your company that is on the e-payment platform. We'll now use it and assess your duty for you. When we assess the duty, we'll now give you the assessment. You go to your bank and pay. When you finish paying, you come to us with your receipt. We'll send it to the bank to confirm the payment.
That various companies in Lagos, including plastic companies, will start commencement of payment of custom duty to government with immediate effect in the month of June. The controller in charge of One 1 in Port Harcourt, the customs management has urged the clearing agent operating in the Eastern Zone to study the recently signed SEMA Act as approved by the former president of Nigeria. According to the Customs New SEMA Act, it will enable fast and easy trade facilitation at the ports throughout the country. The controller in charge of One 1 has this to say.
This is a milestone in the process. The zeal came up when we found out that we must seek for knowledge. We must try our best to foster the capacity in which to act or to operate. In as much as the customs officers felt it or feel necessary to sensitize, educate our own, then we feel it's an obligation to extend it to the stakeholders. Customs and the stakeholders are responsible for the smooth running of the economy in the country. You will agree with me that we are part of the problem. Example, an importer has found an agent to clear these goods that are imported into the country. The agent doesn't have two ways. Either he knows clearly, but he wants court corners, or he doesn't know. These are the two things. He ends up making the wrong procedure call. The goods may be out within just 48 hours. Unfortunately, it took 1 week or 1 month to go out. Who spent the demurrage? The importer. Is it an addition to the total money accruals or not? Then at the end, who's paying that accruals?
While the ACG in charge of Zone C also speaks on the new Summer Act as approved by the Nigerian Customs Management.
I want every one of us to key in keenly and listen. Don't digress and don't put your mind off. Don't switch off. The little time we are going to have here, please, I want every one of us to key into it and enjoy it. The other thing is, it's an opportunity, because I expected I will still talk to the freight forwarders that they should please, their management should try as much as possible to be organizing this within themselves. Yes, the CAC has taken it upon himself to do this, which is a good one, because the moment why we're having problems is because maybe you are not putting the right code, or maybe your classification is not okay. But when you know all those things, there's no reason why there will be problem. And that is why we used to emphasize that 48 hours is good for everyone, provided you are a genuine declarant.
The federal operation in Zone A has seized drugs worth over 400 million naira from smugglers operating along the nation's creek. The unit also intercepted 12 loads of foreign rice from smugglers operating along the nation's borderline. The Nigerian Customs Service has again warned importers of drugs to desist from the act of smuggling of drugs into Nigeria. The acting controller FOU Zone A said that the customs arrested 4 suspects in connection with the drugs and other goods in the country.
At Aja, coming out from the creek, it was on intelligence. Officers went and laid ambush at night around 2 a.m. precisely. This truck was sighted and was flagged down. And upon search, it was found to be carrying cannabis sativa. When it was brought down here, it was counted, and it was counted to be well above 9,000 wraps. This is a single swoop of cannabis sativa at once.
Stated further that the unit intercepted goods at different times or locations within the border corridor of Southwest. The unit also seized 54 bales of second-hand clothing, unprocessed woods, 12 trailers load of foreign rice.
In May 2023, intercepted some smuggled items for contravening various sections of our laws as part of our resolve to protect the well-being of citizens. Some of the wares were intercepted for either violating the guidelines on the importation and exportation of goods, concealment, undervaluation, wrong classification, and smuggling. Others were seized for contravening policy directives, as it is in the case of foreign parboiled rice. Detention and seizures recorded within the period under review amounted to 79 seizures with a total DPV value, duty paid value, of 1,025,905,110 naira are products of surveillance, intelligence gathering, and regular patrols. These were and locations within border corridors of the Southwest Zone. Notable among the 79 seizures are 6,861 by 50 kg bags of foreign parboiled rice, equivalent to 12 trailer loads, 1,236 jerry cans by 25 liters, that is 30,900 liters of PMS, premium motor spirit. 9,857 parcels by, that is about 5,338 kg of cannabis sativa, 2 by 20 unprocessed wood, 4 units of used vehicles, 54 bales of second-hand clothing, and 40 by 5 liters of jerry cans of vegetable oil. 10 suspects were arrested in connection with some of the intercepted goods. For ongoing prosecution of suspects, the Federal High Court at Abeokuta sentenced Musa Oloyede, Fishing Godwin David, and Adeniyi Alaye to 2 years imprisonment for assaulting our officers while carrying out their statutory duties. On revenue, the sum of 38,355,362 naira 88 kobo was generated through conscious and thorough documentary checks, followed by the issuance of demand notices on consignments that were found to have lesser amounts than the appropriate customs duty. Consequent to the social effect of cannabis sativa on the youth, it becomes very worrisome that a total of 9,857 parcels were seized in a single swoop. Crime experts have found a direct relationship.
A total of 38 million naira was generated in the month of May, while goods worth over 1 billion naira was also seized in the month of May. Just before the end of this week edition of the program Customs Report, we brought you a report where drugs worth over 400 million naira was intercepted by FOU Zone A in Lagos. For me, Egeseme Idinye, thanks for watching.